Hello and welcome to this International Women's Day conversation. Today we're celebrating International Women's Day 2024 with a focus on the UN Women theme, Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress. I'm Emmeline Skelton, a sustainability subject matter expert at ACCA, and I'm joined by my co-worker Jessica.
Hi, thank you, Emily, and welcome everybody. I'm the Policy and Insights Lead for UK and EMA at ACCA and specialise in sustainability, like Emmeline does as well. So one of the key areas of action that the UN has identified for women not to be left behind are gender-responsive financing and shifting to a green economy. These are two areas where ACCA has deep research and knowledge. And one of the key actions that the UN has published for International Women's Day is the crucial role of women in the green economy. Emmeline, could you tell us a bit more about this?
Sure. So let's take a step back. So 80% of people displaced by climate change are women, and women are 14 times more likely to die during environmental disasters. So women really are behind in this green transition. And as climate change is evolving, women are going to get more progressively behind. Now, women are generally in industries such as agriculture, where again, they're going to be affected and impacted by climate related events. Now, not only that, the sectors which benefit the most from the transition to net zero are things like utilities, construction, and manufacturing. And the issues with these sectors, these are very low percentage of women making up the workforce. So as we say, at ACCA, we've lobbied that governments and businesses alike need to work together to ensure both men and women are equally part of this transition to the green economy.
Amazing, thank you. Some pretty terrifying stats as well. In the context of our members and the profession more widely, what does this look like? And perhaps you could build in more of the work that you've done in the policy and insight space as well.
Sure. So a recent piece of research I've done is looking at the CFO and the finance function in the net zero transition. Now, in this piece of research, we surveyed around 1,000 of our members. And what we found is 46% of our members realised that actually the green economy is an opportunity for organisations and that actually sustainability can create long-term value. This is excellent. But actually, what does this mean for our members? And 46% of our members also saw that there's opportunity in the finance function. So they can be the custodians of the ESG data. And there's lots of positions such as ESG controller and roles in sustainability appearing in finance. And again, this is the opportunity for our members to upskill in sustainability so they can really drive the green transition and be part of this net zero transformation, because transition is a complex task, and I think that we have the skills and our members have the skills to really be part of this green economy.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if there's any evidence for that, it's the fact that Emmeline and I both work within the sustainability function within ACCA.
Also, I'd like to talk to you about one of the other UN initiatives, which is around gender responsive budgeting. Can you tell me a bit about that and what that means for our members?
Yeah, so firstly, to kick off, what is gender responsive budgeting? It refers to the process of incorporating a gender perspective into fiscal policies and budgetary decisions. So that's the context of what GRB is. Women are really leaving the profession, specifically accountancy, at a much faster rate than men. If we look at rough Big Four statistics, around 60% of graduates in Big Four are women. But when you go to those management level positions, it's around 20 to 30%. So often, similarly, what you've mentioned already is this is due to unpaid caring responsibilities, undue sort of areas where they do have to pick up on things which aren't necessarily incorporated into roles or accounted for within work-based policies. And this is obviously exacerbated by climate change as well. So women across the world have more limited access to resources and they are more vulnerable to climate change and natural disasters. So there's the loss of livelihood and food insecurity as well. So gender responsive budgeting can help identify and address these differential impacts by allocating resources to support women's adaptation and resilience building efforts. So In the context of what ACCA are doing, we've looked into implementing gender responsive budgeting. We produced some guidance on public finance profession using gender responsive budgeting and the widening global gender equality gap. And that was based on insights from over 15 experts worldwide. And in the context of what ACCA do elsewhere, we already conduct a lot of internal training around climate change and its effects. And we are also conducting things like CSRD workshops for our external stakeholders. So looking at corporate social responsibility directive and the regulations for the EU around that and educating. Because when we look at sustainability now, it's beyond climate, as you probably recognise, and it's more of a holistic perspective. So thinking about gender, thinking about equality, poverty, and that really ties in with the UN sustainability goals, which ACCA already report and act against.
So we've covered a lot of facts about the green economy and actually the vital role that women have to play in the net zero transition. So this brings us to the end of our chat. And have a look at the International Women's Day microsite for more information, relevant research, articles and interviews with inspirational women in the accountancy profession and the career journey of some of our members. Thank you so much for listening.